Hey everyone, welcome to the Tuesday edition of Bankrupt. Today I'm sat in my 2011 Mercedes E220 2.1 diesel estate car. And apparently the value of these cars are going up. Now I'm not just saying the value of Mercedes, I'm saying the value of the era are going up. Let me pull out. There we go. The value of the cars of the era are increasing. There's two thoughts on that one. It could be due to the high inflation that's currently in the UK. I calculate it out at about 13%, but the government says, I don't know, 4% or maybe 3.8%. So as inflation goes up and up and up, the value of everything goes up and up and up. And one could say this car was worth £4,000 at some point in the past, and due to inflation, it now demands £5,000. Let's just say, as an example, I'm not saying this car's worth £5,000, but as an example, because the purchasing power of money has dropped, then the numeric value of something rises to keep up with the reducing power of the money. Or, as some people have said on YouTube, you could say that the reason why this kind of vehicle, this era of vehicle, is getting more in demand is because the new cars of today are just too expensive and no one can afford to buy them. So they have to buy them on PCP. Well, you don't buy them on PCP. It's like a lease agreement, a rent agreement, where you pay a monthly amount like I do with the Dacia Spring, and at the end of that term you hand the vehicle back. And start another PCP agreement, or you do get the choice of buying the vehicle with a balloon payment. Okay, let's not go into the detail of that. But if this is true, there's a guy there just having a pee at the side of the road. I understand that. When you ride motorcycles, don't forget, Christmas is coming. The Aiuchi BX that I use on the motorcycle, go and order yourself one for Christmas. A great Christmas present for your motorcycle. They also do screens for cars as well. Aiuchi also do screens for cars. It would be much appreciated if you ordered one through my channel. I do get a little commission and that helps support the channel. Don't forget also the PunCube wallet. Great little tool. I've been using it now for a couple of weeks and it's brilliant. I've got rid of the leather wallet. Don't need it anymore. Let's get back onto the subject. It would be much appreciated if you purchased something through my channel rather than Username Kate or the Bingley Wheeler or those bigger channels. Yeah, it would be great if you ordered one of those pieces of equipment through my channel. I could do with the money, to tell you the truth. Having bought the GSX 1400, the Suzuki. Beautiful machine. What a winner. So, these cars are going up in value, so they say. So they say. I find that quite interesting. I personally think it's keeping up with inflation, but that's about it. But I also understand that people are getting tired of paying a monthly payment for whatever vehicle it is, and I see it every day. I see it every day as the kids are dropped off at school, where all the young moms, 26 years old, I'm stereotyping now, all drive up in massive SUVs. 1 or 2 years old, maybe brand new, but they're driving massive SUVs. Well, the cost of those for a PCP, because they've not been bought, yeah, they've been purchased, they've been arranged through a PCP agreement. The bank owns that car, yes. When you're on a PCP agreement, you don't own the car, the bank owns it. So, you know, I see so many young people with massive SUVs, which brings me on to another thing. Car UK, the channel Your Car UK, I'll put a link to the video in the description. You should watch this, because the government may, in the October budget or a future budget, start taxing more. Oh no, what's happening in front of us? There's a massive queue. Is there? There is. I'm gonna have to turn around. I'm not waiting in this queue. Not waiting in this queue. Let's turn around. Let's turn around. Not waiting in this. Hang on, Susie, hang on. We're not stopping. Let's have a look. No cars coming. Let's go back. Oh, what a stupid. There's some. You see the guy behind me? Another Mercedes driver. What a fucking idiot. Absolute madness. Anyway, let's not dawdle around with that. Let's go another direction. Bloody Mercedes drivers. So they're now thinking about bringing in a new vehicle tax, potentially based on the weight of the vehicle. So the taxes, we pay taxes on new vehicles for whatever the government feel fit, and they're looking at putting massive taxes on heavy vehicles like SUVs, and that will have a massive impact to the marketplace, and the marketplace regarding vehicles in the UK, which is a tiny island, yes. It'll have a massive impact on car sales if the price goes up. But then again, one could say if the car's already £50,000 and it rises to £60,000, that means the PCP agreement monthly cost rises from, let's say, £500 a month to £600 a month. And I guess for those that use PCP, they could actually swallow that pain of an additional £100. Possibly. That's one way of thinking about it. But I think if these cars, this era of car, of which the tax to drive this car on the UK roads is relatively predictable, yes, the tax on this car costs about, I think it's £250 or £255 a year. That's how much it is. If this is predictable and that you don't have to pay crazy taxes because the new tax regime that comes in, or an additional tax regime comes in, where the weight of the vehicle is also considered £10 per kilogram, £10 money per kilogram. That's the potential new tax for new cars, but new cars, the tax on new cars will also come down to older cars as well. Trust me, it will. So you'll pay a road tax, which is a minimum, let's say, like I am already paying, £250 a year. or thereabouts. And then they'll say, what's the weight of the car? If it's under a certain amount of weight, then you don't pay an additional amount. If it's over a certain amount of weight, then you have to pay £10 per kilogram. I don't know. Or £1 per kilogram because it's a used vehicle, an older vehicle. It will come. So maybe I'd have to pay, I don't know how much, I'm not going to calculate it out while I'm driving in my head. But crazy times ahead, crazy times. And maybe that's another reason why people were wanting to buy vehicles like this, and the value of the vehicle is based on that increasing demand. Not sure, what do you think? What do you think? So I'm currently on my way to Potteries Motorcycles and Scooters in Burslem to go and see what bikes there are that need testing. Not in this weather, but just to see what bikes there are that need testing. Because they are Moto UK based, I'm wondering when they're going to bring in the BENDA, if they are going to bring the BENDA manufacturer, the Chinese bike, to the store. That would be interesting. I'm not sure I would want to buy a BENDA. I'd want to ride a BENDA. BENDA means two things to me. One of the things is when we say we're going out, quote, we are going out on a BENDA. That means we're going out for a heavy drinking session. The other connotation of BENDA relates to something completely different. Now I've got the series in my head, The In-Betweeners, where one of those characters comes out with the term bumda. There we are, bumda, BENDA. It's the same kind of thing, but they got it wrong. It was brilliant. The In-Betweeners was brilliant. Brilliant comedy. And it absolutely takes me back to when I was at school. Crazy times at school. Crazy. That's come down to 40. Cruise on. Fascinating. So are people going to be buying cars like my E220 Mercedes that's 15 years old, coming up 15 years old, and has got 138,000 miles on it. Now, if it was 10 years old, that would be 13,000 or 14,000 miles a year, which is average. But because it's 15 years old, then it's much less than that. This car has had such an easy life and been serviced well all the way through its life. And sorry, Susie. Absolutely amazing that people are wanting these cars. One of the problems with newer cars is the engine lights constantly coming on and off, and on and off. And then when you take it for its annual check, if the engine light's on, it won't pass its check. So I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I understand. Let me just put the blower on. What do you think, Susie? Let's just clear this screen. And that's another thing. With this car, the air conditioning pump has failed. I'm not sure how much that will cost to replace. Maybe £500. Rest of the car's fine. Absolutely bomb-proof. It is 15 years old. Let's face it. Look at all this traffic. What are these people doing? What are all these people doing? There we go. Here we go. Let's get up to speed. There we go. Just a thought. Do you think older cars are getting up in value? And why do you think that they're going up in value? I probably think it's due to inflation. You know, something of £4,000 a year ago is now £5,000. So if this car was demanding a year ago £4,000, just as an example, then this year, right now, is £5,000. I think it's more about inflation than demand for people wanting these older cars. You tell me your thoughts. What car are you driving? Are you driving on PCP? Are you driving a brand new vehicle? I mean, we've got a brand new vehicle. We've got the Dacia Spring, and for 6 months of ownership and 5,500 miles, it's been brilliant. Not a problem. But that was not purchased. That was PCP'd, associated to a business plan that had a return of investment, and it's working perfectly. It works perfectly. The business plan associated to it, and the costs associated to using the Dacia Spring electric. The business plan, the return of investment on it works perfectly. Great business investment. Anyway, I'll bring it to an end. Just a quick chat. What's your thoughts? Value of cars going up? Is it due to inflation? Or is it something else? You tell me. Let me pull in here and I'll say goodbye to you. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it meant something to you. If it did, please do give the video a like. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It makes a great difference. Don't forget to order your Christmas presents. The PunCube wallet. Let me just show it you. Probably one or two people get to this point. There we are. There's the PunCube wallet. Absolutely brilliant. There's some cash in there. Brilliant. That makes a great Christmas present. I'll leave that there. Great Christmas present. Oops, my microphone went down there. Yeah, I would appreciate it if you ordered the stuff from my channel to give me a little bit of cash to help support the channel. Have a great day. Ride safely, drive safely, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.